Thomas Malthus, a famous 18th century economist, famously wrote that most of human history, there was no growth. In fact, there could not be any growth, because as soon as you started to make more food, what would happen? Your children would survive. You'd have more sex, have more children, as we all do when we eat too much. It was the 18th century, things change. And then suddenly you gobble up all the excess food. So that's what this graph is, this graph of world GDP per capita. This is what the graph is over here. It's not world GDP, which is a measure of all the economic activity, but the world GDP per person. Now, I know if you're anything like my history students at Cornell, you hate math. But a little math goes a long way. So how many of you are frightened of math? Well, San Francisco is a different crowd. Y'all are like, okay, math, it's on. All right. So if you look at this graph, I want you to look at the year 0 or 1 or whatever, 467. Now, $467 per person on the whole planet. Now, do you think that's totally accurate? No, probably not. But it gives you a rough, whoa. Don't be touching my beer. All right. All right. Okay. This is a rough sense. Go to 1000 AD, 450. Roughly flat. If you extend this graph back thousands and thousands of years, roughly, it would have stayed flat. That's basically the amount of human activity per person since the dawn of agriculture. And then something changes. Something changes to make Malthus incorrect. And like most historians, he imagines the future through the past. And so Malthus is looking back, and if that had been the case, if nothing had changed, Malthus would have been correct. Before capitalism, the 99.7% of all human history, there was very little investment. There was very little technological change. The world of 1450 looked more or less like the world of 0. These printers and glass blowers looked like technologies that would have been legible to the ancient Romans. And in fact, the largest enterprises in Europe in this period had 40 people. That's the scale of human endeavor in the moment before capitalism really emerges. And then suddenly things change. Things change. And you get to this graph, this very smooth-looking graph. Now, I noticed some of you were nodding your head. What do you notice, class, about the math of this graph? I want you to notice the very smooth, flat plane until roughly the end. Now, it looks very flat because the end, the period post-1800, is so vertical. It's very easy to draw this graph. Even a robot can do it. And it would be easy to forget that behind this graph are people and events and choices that made this growth possible. That in fact, this kind of growth wasn't possible at any other period in hundreds of thousands of years that humans have existed.